Hello gamers, and welcome to this playthrough video for Robin Gibson's Arcane Bakery Clash, a great little game from Buttonshy, published by Buttonshy. These are a lot of the components. We're going to be specifically looking at the solo expansion called the Boss Bake Off, and this expansion just adds 3 cards to the base game, and you get just this one little bit of text here to add in how you set up and how you play. So Arcane Bakery Clash, as I said, is designed and illustrated by the ridiculously, stupidly talented Robin Gibson. So we'll take you through this this game. There is a second expansion called Mystery Ingredients, and this is just again another 3-card expansion. Two of these 3 cards can work with the solo Boss Bake Off. This Omen Biscotti can't work with the solo Bake Off, but Boss Bake Off, but the other 2 can. But for this playthrough, I'm gonna not include any of them, just to kind of make it as base as possible. As you may or may not know, Buttonshy games generally, as a rule, have 18 cards. In Arcane Bakery Clash, the base game, you get 2 character cards here, but obviously we only need 1 for the solo game. So I identify as male, so I'm going to choose the more male-looking character. We're going to take all of the 18 cards, but actually with the solo Bake Off, there is 1 card, the Cheese Quake recipe card, which we can't use again in the solo. So actually we are playing with, to start with, we're going to be playing with 17 cards, but as we have a look at the boss setup, that card count will change as well. So you will also need a bunch of tokens, and you can use, it's all designed for using pennies, but I've got just some little tokens here. So my life trackers are these kind of penny sized things, and so you move your token down the track for health, you see there, and the same with the boss card. So I've got the little hearts for the health, and then with your recipes, you can use a penny to say how long your recipe's been in the oven for. Okay, I'll explain the concept a little bit. Now it's saying it's been a long time coming. You and a particular co-worker at the Arcane Bakery simply cannot work together anymore. In a moment of frustration, you challenge them to a duel. After hours, no holds barred, the loser resigns and cleans up the mess. But obviously we are not playing against a person. It's designed as a 2-player game in the base format. Pretty simple, 8+. It does need an element of memory. It's got a little quick reference turn checklist on the back there. We're obviously not playing against another player. We're going to be playing against Gaius. He's this boss. And like I said, the boss expansion, you just get 3 cards. Okay, so on one side of the card, we have these beautiful illustrations. Here, looks a little bit like the genie from Aladdin. Disney's Aladdin. So here we've essentially got 3 cards of 3 different difficulty levels. So we've either got this one, where Gaius has 10 health, this one where he has 12, or this one here is 14. Okay, so first thing you do is you choose which level you're going to do on. We're going to go for this one. Okay, so then that's going to be our health tracker for the boss. So then we've got these 2 cards left over. So what we do is we flip them over. Okay, and now on each one we've got a curse on one side, information, and actions on the other. For the base game, you don't need a dice, but for Boss Bake Off, you do need just one die there. Okay, so we can choose. Now the curse we have to do, and we have to do this as well. Okay, and the actions, this is what happens when Gaius takes his 10 and rolls the dice. So we now have the choice of, we can either have the curse where the ovens don't advance at the end of the turn. That's a real issue, and we remove 3 cards at the start, so 3 recipes just disappear, just taken out of the game. Okay, or we can have the curse where Gaius takes 2 actions per turn, which is obviously not quite as bad as this curse, but 5 cards get removed rather than 3. Okay, and then these 2, I don't pay too much attention to the actions really. I'm more concerned about the curses when I'm choosing. But here, so on this card, I can either have, so you get the curses of one card and the actions of another. Okay, so if I choose this curse, then I get these actions. If I choose this curse, then Gaius has these options, these actions. So actions are things like player takes 2 damage when you roll a 1, Gaius gains 1 health if you roll a 2, choose an oven to set to 0 minutes if he gets a 3, and the player and the minions take 1 damage each. We're going to talk about minions when we encounter them. Or this one, player and minions take 1 damage, player and minions take 2 damage, all ovens go up by 2 minutes. And that can really mess with your planning a bit. And then Gaius gains 2 health. So I would rather my ovens advance automatically at the end of the turn, so I don't want that curse, which then means I'm going to get these actions. But it means that Gaius is going to take 2 actions per turn. Okay, so you're going to roll the dice twice for Gaius, and I need to remove 5 cards. So what we do is we just place those cards behind Gaius here, and lay them down just so we can remember. I mean, once we've done this, just so we can remember the curse, this is kind of done once. So we're going to put him back up here. Okay. So we're going to put him up there, and yeah, we're on medium. I'm going to set him to 12. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle the cards. I'm going to just remove 5 without looking at them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, if I had added in the mystery ingredients, I would have had an extra 2 in my pack. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 recipes to choose from. Okay, so in the base game, the 2-player game, you then deal out 2 cards to each player, but obviously Gaius doesn't have any cards. Okay, so I'm just going to deal myself 2. Now my hand size can be up to 5, my hand limit, but I can only have a maximum of 3 recipes in the oven. So this is going to be our draw pile. I'm going to put it up here if I want to draw. Okay, so there's Gaius's die. Set my health. Now the other thing we need to know, so on my play, so on Gaius's turn, the boss's turn, the AI as it were, we just roll the dice and then do the action. Okay, and because we're playing on this level, Gaius is going to get 2 rolls on his turn. Okay, on my turn, I get 2 actions. Okay, and of those 2 actions, I can either draw a recipe card, I can either put a recipe into the oven, which means from my hand, I look at a recipe, putting it into the oven is turning it over. Okay, I can peek into the oven is an action. If I've forgotten what I'm doing, I can peek into it, but I use an action to do that. I can turn up the heat, so I can advance the time track by a minute, or an action is I can take a recipe out of the oven, and when you take it out, you then do the action listed. And let's have a look at these 2 recipes I've got. So I've got this one, quick bread. So here we go. If I put it in the oven for 4 minutes, I then am able to take 2 extra actions this turn and restore 1 energy. Okay. If I leave it in the oven for 6 minutes, I can take 3 extra actions this turn and restore 2 energy. Okay, so that's for me really, and it's extra actions and things which are useful. And then this one, so this one I don't put into the oven at all. I can interrupt play at any time. Your opponent's turn ends. The last card they removed from the oven is ignored. Obviously, Gaius doesn't have any cards in the oven, but what I can do is I can use this to just end his turn, okay, at any time. Okay, so with the boss bake-off, I think I go first. I'm going to go first, yep. And then, so I've got 2 actions. So first action I'm going to do is I'm going to put the quick bread into the oven. Okay, now I need to decide, so 4 or 6 I need to remember, and this is where you've got to use your memory to remember. So I think I'm going to aim for 4. Waiting an extra 2 rounds or an extra 2 minute, to count just for 1 extra action and 2 energy. I'm at the beginning, so the energy I'm not necessarily going to be missing too much. So I'm going to put the quick bread into the oven, and I want to take it out at 4. So I need to try and remember that 4. Okay, so I'm going to put it in the oven, going to get one of my tokens and put it onto 0 there. Okay, so and my second action is I could stop Gaius taking an action straight away. Let's let him take an action. My second action is I'm going to draw another recipe, because I'll just have to draw it anyway. So I can't do anything of this, but this is an interesting one, toffee skin potion. Okay, so if I put it into the oven, if I take it out after 1 turn, I take for 1 turn, and you see I've got a little tracker up here, I take no damage. If I take it out at 6, I can set my tracker to 3, then for 3 turns, I take no damage. Okay, so that's a pretty good one. So that kind of goes into my, that will set that down next to my character there. Okay, so that's my 2 turns. So now it's Gaius's turn. So we'll just roll the dice. 1, player takes 2 damage. 1, 2. Okay, now Gaius takes 2 actions. Oh, another 1. Flip the neck. 1, 2. Down to 6 already. Okay, so oh, I forgot that that I was supposed to move my oven on 1 after my turn. So before Gaius's turn, after my turn, I needed to move it on 1. So I'm looking for this to go to 4 or to 6. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm going to take it out at 4. Now let's. I think I'm going to need this toffee skin potion. Let's put that into the oven. Right there. Put a token on 0. Okay. And then this, now interrupt play at any time. Do I need to use that as one of my actions, or can I just throw it in at any time? So could I take another action and then chuck this at Gaius just as he's about to roll, or after he rolls? So let's take an action of drawing a card. I've drawn it right now. So cone of ice cream. Okay, so if I put it into 3, I'm going to deal 1 damage to your opponent. Deal 1 damage and your opponent takes 1 fewer action next turn. That could be useful. Or if I leave it in for 5, I'm going to give him 3 damage and he would have 1 fewer action. Okay, so that's good. So I'm going to that's my turn over, so I need to advance all my ovens by 1. Now I'm just thinking, this toffee skin was 5 and 3 and 5, wasn't it? So this is where it comes into it. There, you have to have that good, a decent memory. Obviously, if you're solo playing, you can cheat, but you know, I don't really want to use one of my precious 2 actions to peek into my ovens. So Gaius is going to roll 6. I'm not going to interrupt in there. That's fine. He's going to roll because 6. There's no 6, but 3. Choose an oven to set to 0 minutes. I'm going to let him take that. I'm going to keep hold of this flour. So I'm going to set this one down to 0 minutes. That is my toffee skin, I think. So this one's still going, so he's set this one back to 0. Okay, so now you also can only have a maximum of 3 recipes in the oven. Okay, so I've not got anything that's going to deal him any damage, so let's get some damage going. So I'm going to put the cone of ice cream. So this one I want to take again. I want to take it out at 5 really. I want to deal as much damage as I can, as possible, to him. Okay, and then my second action, I'm going to move this oven on 3. Going to turn up the heat, as it were. Okay, so Gaius's turn. 2, you gain 1 health. You can't go any higher than 12. That's okay. 5, there's no 5. It's only 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's good. My turn again. Okay, did I advance? I didn't advance my ovens at the end of my turn. Right, so that's on 4. I could take it out. What I think I'll do is, I think I'm gonna advance it 1. So then at the end of my turn it'll go up to 2, and then so in my next turn I can take it out of the oven. These ones, that's, I was waiting for 5, and that one I ideally want it to 5. So let's draw a card just to give me some more options. Lava Cake Eruption. 2, deal 1 damage and increase all ovens by 1 or 2 minutes. And 4, deal 2 damage and increase all ovens by 1, 2, or 3 minutes. Okay, so it does say increase all ovens by 1 or 2. So if you were to bring that out and you didn't want to increase an oven, because obviously if I go beyond, if I take my recipe out of the oven when it's not on one of these numbers, that's a wasted recipe. Okay, so that was my 2 actions. So let's advance all my ovens by 1. Okay, it's now Gaius's turn. 4. Player and minions take 1 damage. Let's interrupt player at any time your opponent's turn ends. Okay, so I'm not going to take that damage, and Gaius isn't going to take his second turn because second action, because I've ended his turn. But that's gone into my discard pile now. Okay, so my turn. Let's take my recipe out of the oven. Quick bread. Take 3 extra actions and turn this turn and restore 2 energy. Okay, so discard. So restore 2 energy. I'm back up to 8. So I can take 3 extra actions. So I've got 1 action left for one of my usual actions. So let's draw a recipe. Just give myself more options. Mallow Mist. Draw 2 random cards from your opponent's hand or the deck. So obviously in this case the deck. Look at so I can get two extra cards, or look at my opponent's hand or the deck and take 3 cards. So if I leave it in for 1, I can just grab 2 cards. If I leave it in for 4, I can look at my opponent's hand. I can look at take 3 I guess if it was a hand, then it'd be 5. My opponent would have 5 cards, so I could look at 5 cards maybe, and then could take 3 of them. I think I might put this in the oven actually, and just take it out and just grab 2, because I can have a hand size of 5, and I'm not even really getting up to that point. So let's chuck this in the oven. Okay, and I want to take it out at 1. These ones I could take out at 3 or 5, but I think I'm gonna. So that was. So I drew, which was my second regular action. I've got 3 extra actions, so I put it into the oven, which was first of my 3 extra actions. So my other 2 actions. Let's. I forget which one of these was which. Let's move. I could move that onto 1 and then take it out of the oven as my 2 actions, and then get 2 more cards. This is my toffee skin, I think, so let's put that up to 3, turn it up, and then turn it up a second time to 4. Okay, so let's start getting some protection from my toffee skin. Okay, so now I can't interrupt Gaius. He's going to have 2 turns. 4. Player and minions take 1 damage. Well, I've only got a player. I haven't got any minions, so 1 damage. Okay, could have been worse. 3. Choose an oven to set to 0 minute. I didn't move my ovens on. Okay, so choose an oven to set to 0 minutes. Be better to put that back to 0. Okay, so that's his 2 actions. So I'm going to, with my 2 actions, my first action, I'm going to bring out my toffee skin potion. Okay, now I brought it out at 6. Oh, I brought it out too early. Oh dear, I thought they were both 5. Anyway, so I brought it out too early. It's ruined. Okay, discard. That was a poor move. Okay, so this definitely is 5, hopefully. Better get this lava eruption into the oven. This is coming out at 4, so that's So let's put that there. So this is going to come out at 1, so that moves on to 1, this moves on to 1, this moves on to 4. Okay, the gas's turn. 3, choose an oven to set back to 0 minutes. Put this one back down again. 2, gas gains 1 health, he can't gain a health, so it's already at the top. Okay, so I've got nothing in my hand, no cards in hand. So but what I will do is I will advance this in one of my actions. 5. Did I remember correctly? 5, yes. So deal 3 damage to an opponent, and he also takes 1 fewer action next turn. So good. 1, 2, 3. He's only going to take 1 action next turn. I still don't have anything in hand. So my ovens advance on 1 each. There's rolls. Player takes 2 damage. 1, 2. I'm down to 5. Guess is on 9, but he only gets 1 action this time because of the cone ice cream. So my actions are, I'm going to bring this one out of the oven at 1. So I'm going to draw 2 random cards from the deck. Okay, so that was useful. 1, 2, because I effectively used 1 action to get 2 cards. So here we go, what have we got? Cake, fruit. If I leave it in for 1, I can restore 2 energy. If I leave it in for 6, I can restore 5 energy. Okay, and I've got brownie bash. Amazing illustrations here. So leave it in for 3, 2 damage, 4, 5 damage. So let's. This one is going to be damage. Let's. I'll need some energy, so I'll need to get this cake fruit in. So 6, 6, 6. I need to get it into 6. It's going to give me 5 energy, but 6. So try and remember that. You guys remember it. I won't. So that's my second action. Okay, so my ovens advance by 1. Okay, yes, takes throw 3, good. 5, I mean, no, so that's nothing. 3, choose an oven to set to 0 minutes. Well, this one is progressed least, so I better put that one down. Now, is this 4? I need to take this out of 4, I think. So let's get this in the oven as well. Brownie bash. So I'm taking that out. So this is coming out at 6. This should be coming out at 4. This I'm going to take out at 4 as well. And my second action. Is let's draw a card. Okay, so here, ginger golem. So this is a minion. So this is when it says about player and minions take 1 damage each. This is a ginger golem. So if I leave him in for 7 minutes, he gets 3 energy, so that's 3 health, and you can take 1 extra action per turn. If I leave him in for 3 minutes, he only has 1 energy, so 1 hit and he's gone, but I take 1 action per turn. Okay, so it's a good one if you can get it out there, especially if you can get it out there with 3 energy. It gives me that extra turn. Advance all my ovens by 1, so that one, 1. I think I'm taking that out at 4. You're probably screaming at me saying, no, it's 5. So this one's 6. This one was 4. I could take it out at 3, I think, or 4. So let's do Gaius's turn 4. Player and minions take 1 damage, down to 4 health. 3, again, choose 1 oven to set to 0. Now I need need this one, so I'm going to set this one. This one only needs to get to 4. This one needs to get all the way around to 6. So let's set this one back to 0. Okay, now I can't put anything else in the oven because these are all, but I'm going to take a chance. I can't risk not delivering this damage, so I'm going to use an action to peek in. It is 4. So I wasted an action. So my second action is to do it. So lava eruption, I'm going to deal 2 damage and increase ovens by 1, 2 or 3 minutes. All ovens by 1, 2 or 3 minutes. So I can't say this one 2, this one 4, this one 3, you know. So I've got to choose 1, 2 or 3 minutes and increase all of my ovens by that. So let's deal my damage first. 1, 2. It's down to 7, I'm down to 4. Okay, so this one needs to get round to 6. 1, 2, 3. This one needs to get to 4, 2, 3. So yeah, let's go, let's move on 3 minutes each. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So it's, remember this is my one in my hand. Let's roll Gaius's die. 6, brilliant. No action. 4. Player and minions take 1 damage. I take another damage. Okay. Oh, I didn't move them on after my turn, did I? So, okay. So first action, I'm going to take this out of the oven. This was 4, wasn't it? So deal 5 damage to the opponent. Took it out of 4. So 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's down to 2. Bit of a difference maker, the brownie bash. Now we just keep going until somebody's at 0 health. So when I run out of cards on my drawer, I shuffle the discard. So let's put the ginger golem in. Let's take him out at 3. Let's take him out at 3 probably. Let's see how it's going. So I'm going to put him in the oven. I'll put them in the oven. So that's my second action. So turn ends. Advance on my ovens by 1. So I'm on 3. Gaius is on 2. He could kill me this time, but he can't now. I'm still going to survive another turn at least. So that was a 5. 4. Player and minions take 1 damage. So I'm going down to 2. So we're both on 2. Close. So this is on 6. Let's take it out of the oven. At 6, restore 5 energy. Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm up to 7 health. Okay. Let's draw my card, the Sugar Shuriken. So deal 1 damage to up to 3 targets. Obviously I've only got 1 target in a solo game, or deal 2 damage to up to 3 targets. So that's 3 targets is not, kind of don't need that really. So if I take this out at 2, because waiting to get right up to 6 to do just an extra damage is not going to be good return on investment, as it were. So the Sugar Shuriken, but that was my second turn, drawing. So Gaius's turn. Oops, 3. Choose an oven to set to 0 minutes. Well, I've only got 1 oven. Oh, I didn't move it on, but it goes to 0 anyway. And a 6. Now I've completely forgotten what I was going to take out of that. Let's get my Sugar Shuriken in the oven. So that's going to 2. Let's just have a peek. Was my Ginger Golem, so it's 3. So that's 2, 3. Okay, so end of my turn, move on 2. Okay. Chaos takes his turn. Did I choose another to set? Yeah. So 1, player takes 2 damage. 1, 2, put down to 5. 4, player takes, and minions take 1 damage each, down to 4. Okay, so this, let's really try and finish him off. So I'm going to move this on with my first action, turn it up the heat, up to 2. Going to take it out of the oven at 2 as my second action. So deal 1 damage to Gaius. So he's down to 1. Almost got him. Almost got him. So end of my turn. This is going up to 2. So I want to take this out at 3. So 2, Gaius gains 1 health. It's back up to 2. 4, player and minions take 1 damage. I'm down to 3. Okay, so let's shuffle up my discard. You may or may not know already, but button shy cards are lovely kind of linen finish, really nice to handle, and I'm not a one for sleeving cards. So I'm going to draw Toffee Skin Potion. Now this was the one I got wrong last time. So that's my first action. Let's put it in the oven as the second action. I'm going to just leave it in for 1. Because we're near the end game, he's only got 2 health left. Okay, so that's my second action. So end of my turn, move both on. So 1, player takes 2 damage. 1, 2. I'm down to 1 health here. He could finish me off with a 4. 2, Gaius gains 1 health. So he's up to 3. Okay, so I can take my ginger golem out of the oven, and he's got 1 health. Okay, so it finishes both off, which would be, and I'm going to take my Toffee Skin Potion out of the oven as well straight away. It's my second action, and that means I'm going to take no damage this next turn. Okay, so Gaius is rolling. 1, player takes 2 damage, Toffee Skin Potion, no damage. 5, nothing. So into the discard, because it only lasted 1. So now I've got my ginger golem. No, it was 2, player takes 2 damage, so it wasn't my minion. So I can take 3 actions. So let's take a card, so a handful of flour, great, but not useful really now, can't really put it in the oven. So my second action is the quick bread. It does restore energy if I can get it in the oven. So let's just chuck it in the oven. Don't want to take it out of 4. Let's just quickly try and get my actions up. So that was my third action. So it was draw 2, and the third action was there. So end of my turn. Advance. 1, player takes 2 damage. I'm going to quickly interrupt the play. Opponent's turn ends. Okay, so it's my turn again. Okay, so I've got 3 actions. Let's brownie bash. Now I'm gonna get that in the oven straight away. I want to get it up to 4. So get it in the oven. I'm gonna, as my second action, my third action, let's advance it on. That will finish him off. But a 1 or a 4 and I'm finished. 3, choose an oven to set to 0 minutes. Well, let's set this down to 0. 3, choose an oven to set to 0 minutes. Oh no. Oh. At least I didn't take any damage. So I've got 3 actions still. Let's go for broke. 1, 2, 3 actions to advance it all on 1. That's the end of my turn. End of my turn, everything advances by 1. Okay, I've just got to survive. 3, oven to set to 0. Set that one down to 0. 1, player takes 2 damage. Dead. Oh, so close, so close. But hope you enjoyed that. That was a really close game of Robin Gibson's Arcane Bakery Clash with the Boss Bake Off 3-card solo expansion. Okay, thanks for watching. Like the video, comment if you want to, if I got anything wrong or you spotted anything. I could have forgotten to do things, but like the video if you liked it, and I'll see you next time.